In this video, we're going to explore how you can concatenate text strings in JavaScript. And this can be very useful if sometimes you need to concatenate or combine multiple text strings that you get from different places together. So let's start and explore this, and I'm going to use just the console log to show you this demo. Alright, so in here, we have here our concatenate text string file, and in here we will concatenate. And eventually, if you open up a developer tab where you can see the console log, you will see eventually the matching concatenation. And what is concatenate? Basically, concatenate is combining or merging text into one. Or not only text, it can be numbers, anything. Any type of value together. So, before I even continue showing you this, just a quick note, if you want to learn about Chart.JS, check out my Udemy course in the description box. In there you can find the link directing you to my Chart.js course, which dives deep into how to use Chart.js. Alright, so let's start and explore here the JavaScript tutorial for beginners, which is only on concatenation. So for this, basically we do the following here. So let's say here we have console.log, and in here we want to concatenate text strings or any kind of variables in here. So what we can do is the following here. So let's say we have here a constant. You got a constant here, and this is the sales number. And this sales number here is 100. Or we can just make it a number value. And then we can say here another const, say sales text. This could be let's say here the sales text would be revenue or sales record today. So now we have two values. We want to put them here and concatenate. But first what we want to do is we want to do a text version. So what we're going to do is we're going to say here in the console.log, we're going to put in the text as sales records. Let's save this, and if I do this, and this is just a string as you can see here. If I refresh this and open up my developer tab, you can see here we get the sales records, which is fine, that's exactly what we want. However, now we want to add up the number here. How do we do this? We can put in here number 100, which is easy, but what if the number adjusts here? You want to adjust it here as well. So for example, this, if you see here 100, that's fine, but if this is 200, and refresh here, you can see it's still 100. So what we need to do is we need to concatenate them together. So how do you do that? Well, simply by the plus symbol. The plus symbol indicates you have here the string. This is the end of the string, and then you have a space, and then you have a plus symbol. The plus symbol indicates that now there might be another item to be concatenated or merged together in this sentence. And what this will be is, well, of course, the sales. So if you would have here another string, you can do it like this, but this would not make sense because you could just type it here as well. However, now you want to add up here maybe the sales. So you put in the sales here, and now you have this. But imagine you want to do something more. You want to put in the sales symbol here. For example, you want to put the $sign in here. We can do here the $sign. We're going to put it at the end, which doesn't make sense, I know, but for this purpose right now, this is probably a demo. Let's save this, and then you will see now, to refresh, you get sales records, 200, and then dollars. As you see here, there's some space that should be between here. What we can do is let's change this. We're going to remove this. We put it all here at the back, sales record, and then in here, we will make this more sense by putting here a sales symbol. We can put a space between here. We can put a space between here and save this. So once we save this, you can see now we have the $sign, $200 sales record. Alright, so now we have concatenated basically a string, and then we have a variable, and this variable is a number variable, and then we add up the sales or another string as well. But maybe we don't want this. If we want to add up another variable, we can just remove that, copy this, put it in here, the sales text, and then we can save this. So once we do this, you can see now we have $200 sales record today. Of course, there's a one thing here. It says, well, I don't like this here. There's a space between here, as you can see, or there's a space missing. We need to put in the space. So how will you use space? Well, you can say, well, we can do this. Put a space at the end. But maybe this is not the way you want to do it. Main reason is maybe you're using this variable for other places in your JavaScript, and then you will have space at the beginning consistently. Well, that should not be the case if you have a sentence. So what we can do here is the following. We're going to add up a string, and this string between here will have only a tiny piece of space. Alright, so once we save this and refresh, now you can see we have sales record of $200, and then there is a space between and then sales record today. And that is basically how we can add up values and text. So basically concatenate or merge together all of these variables, numbers, sales records, and this could be numbers as well, sales, you could do it here as well, 200, that, and you could do all kind of options here. Let's save this. You will see now we have extras, all the things you can add up in here. This is how you can concatenate, and this can be concatenated directly in a HTML item, and in this case I did it here in a console log. So if you like videos like this, subscribe to my channel, and if you have questions regarding to how to concatenate these kind of strings together, put them in the description box. Put your question in the description box.